Hello and welcome to episode 31 of Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. I'm Emily, and I'm talking to you, what day is it? I'm talking to you on the 25th of January in 2017. And yeah, the political world is pretty fucking crazy right now. I just got back from a little bit of a rally for the in response to the horrible executive order that the Orange One has recently signed. It was sponsored by an organization called CARE in support of Muslims and immigrants in New York City. So this is what I do now, I guess. I go to rallies and marches, even though I do not enjoy these things. But it feels like now that's what we do. There was some guy walking behind me who was like, yeah, this is my 4th rally this week. So that's where we're at. Anyway, I'm going to read to you now a blog I wrote a little while ago, not so long ago. Things have not changed so very much, but I had some other things I wanted to get out a little bit earlier. So this one I haven't recorded, although it was posted on the blog a while ago. So if you want to be a little tiny bit more current, I recommend reading the blog. But if you're happy to wait, listening is also good. That's why I do it both ways. Maybe one day I'll do a semaphore version of the blog. That'd be fun. Okay, here you go, everybody. Here's your semaphore. Those of you who want neither to read nor to listen, just watch flags waving. Anyway, so this blog is called My Hagification Has Begun. The patriarchy won big time on November 8th, 2016. Enough voters and enough Russian hackers wanted the patriarchy to win. Enough people were like, yeah, the primal expression of the patriarchy is for us. And they voted for it. It's pretty fucking awful. But the patriarchy won. And I hate it. It made me cry, big, sloppy tears, and I was paralyzed and horrified and ready to hide in a basement for as long as was necessary. But then a switch got flipped. And I realized that just by existing, I am a middle finger to the patriarchy. The guy who won the contest is the straight-up id of the patriarchy, and he has a lot of opinions about how women should look, as does the culture in general. I do not fit most of his criteria, and am therefore, like his opponent in the election, nasty. And, like many of my sisters in the fight, I am embracing my nastiness. Because when the patriarch-elect called Clinton a nasty woman, we all knew what he meant. And we all knew that for him, nasty woman was redundant because woman means nasty to him just by itself. We know he means women are gross with body fat and hair and blood coming out of our wherevers. He's offended by any woman who isn't aesthetically pleasing to him. He is on record on this point, going back decades. All my life, I've struggled with the feeling that my body wasn't culturally acceptable, that I was not pleasing to look at in one way or another, and therefore failing at being a woman. That's what the patriarchy wanted me to feel. That feeling is, in fact, what entire industries are devoted to invoking. The patriarchy wants me to spend all my time shaping my body with Spanx, with diets, with razors, with creams, with makeup, in order to make it the most palatable for the patriarchs. It wants me to spend all my money on clothes, on weight loss products, on cosmetics. It wants me in heels. It wants me in hair and makeup for a couple of hours every day. So now, my body becomes a signal. My body hair, my clothes are all a signal that I do not comply. Now, more than ever. I'm thinking of going full-on hag to really magnify the effect. I want to develop 12 warts and some super gnarled fingers. Maybe I'll start wearing a pointy hat. I will no longer be aesthetically pleasing for the patriarchy. I am interested in full-on hagification.
My entire life, some part of me was still struggling to please the patriarchy. Will the patriarchy still like me with this haircut? Am I shaving my legs correctly for the man? Is this the right dress for the patriarchy? Sidebar, I'm going to start adding for the patriarchy to my fortune cookies, replacing the standard in bed. So I'll see such fortunes as, you will soon go on a great journey. For the patriarchy. You can play too. It'll be fun. This new regime is a shit show, but its extreme patriarchal nonsense is such that it has finally liberated me from some of the last bits of the patriarchal pleaser in my subconscious. I don't care if the patriarchy likes me. In fact, it's better if it doesn't. I would take it as a point of pride at this point to be dismissed by the patriarchy. I am done cultivating my image. I am done worrying if I am pretty enough, if I'm fitting in, if I am aesthetically pleasing. I have had decades of that, and now I am embracing my inner hag. And she is pissed and nasty. And I am not alone in this feeling, I have recently discovered. After I wrote the first draft of this post, I read an article by Madeline Davies and Jezebel, essentially pointing to the same impulse. Women on the street, the sorts of whom who have never given me a second look, are suddenly smiling at me and nodding. I think we recognize each other now. The dissidents. The patriarchal warriors. When I go out into the world now, I strap on my beat-up boots, snaps missing, 4, fucks given, 0, and feel like I'm gearing up for that battle. This doesn't mean that I'll never wear lipstick again or that I'll never wear that sexy black dress, but it does mean that I'm only putting that stuff on for me. The patriarchy can go fuck itself. The good news is that I can fight the patriarchy just by existing, just by walking around in my body. And for every fat bitch that gets shouted at me just for shaking up space in the world, I am now receiving nods and solidarity from my fellow warriors in equal measure. It's a fight out there, for sure. But I am hagged up, geared up, and ready to go. The patriarchy may have won this round, but the fight's not over. So there we have my hagification. And I started this recording a week ago on the 25th. It is now January the 31st. It's like a whole new craziness. Like, I listened to the beginning of this and I was like, oh, what happened on Wednesday that was terrible? It got so much worse. I had no idea. Yeah, so who knows? By the time I actually get this, out of my computer and onto my SoundCloud, who knows? Who knows what will have happened? But we will persevere. Hag that I am, I will post and say things that may cease to be relevant within 10 minutes, but one must speak anyway. I don't have a song here to post, to add to the end. I feel like there's nothing. I've got nothing. I feel like maybe I probably should write one. I don't have that done yet, so you'll have to wait for the hag song. It may come. It's just, in a fighting zone, it is hard to create. When you are busy fighting, it is hard to make things. But I hope I will. Maybe I'll write us a good hag protest song or something. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, fight on, my fellow hags, my crones, my supporters of hags and crones, my people, and hopefully something horrible will not have happened. Well, of course, something horrible already has happened, but hopefully there won't be a new horrible thing when you're listening to this. Sleep well. Eat well. Stay well, everybody. Stay strong. I'm with you.